Hi, this is Tim Crater from Gladiators Academy. We're just posting this quick interview to kind of talk about Dustin Poirier's training and sparring partners for his UFC 125 fight coming up in Las Vegas at MGM against Josh Crispy. Dustin took the fight on what some would consider last minute's notice, but after the Mickle-Wright fight, maybe 1 week later, Dustin was back in the gym training, so he never really got off of his routine. His strength and conditioning continued, and his nutrition continued, and of course, his favorite thing to do is spar and train, so that continued just as well. So let's cover some of the sparring partners we have for Dustin. First, we have Jace Lopez. Jace is a college football player, and he's been here a couple months. Real big, strong, long guy, and definitely helps with seeing those long punches and his cardio size. And then Thomas Webb from Gladiators Baton Rouge fights at about 185. Really solid wrestler, good stand-up, good all-around. Been doing jiu-jitsu and training with us for years. So he's a little big and a little bit stronger. Dustin, of course, is fighting at 145 now, so sort of looks like he has HIV. But that's just because we're cutting a lot of weight and we're trying to get him down to as close to a fighting weight as possible to make sure the cut's as easy as it can make it. Eugene Broussard does all kind of martial arts stuff in midget boxing from Breaux Ridge, and definitely working with speed with Dustin. And then also, of course, Mike Guidry. He's always in the gym, never really leaves, and definitely has a lot of speed and a lot of boxing skill to kind of help Dustin work on the speed aspects of his game. And then the kid's always here, Alan Myers as well, another fighter we have fighting amateur, but he fights at 155, so his size is very similar to Grisby. Also, Julian Bonin in the back is one of the boxing coaches here at Gladiators Academy, actually really the only boxing coach. He's been working real hard with Dustin's hands and speed and footwork and movement to kind of keep trying to improve that. A lot of us here at the Academy fight like white trash street fighters, and Julian's trying to help us improve. We definitely don't lack anything in aggression or punching power or the willingness to fight, but some of the technical stuff that we lack, we're using boxing coaches like Julian to help clean and polish some of that. So, Dustin, what do you feel is going on with your training camp so far in terms of your training partners and your readiness for the fight?
I feel like everything's coming together the way it's supposed to. I feel really good at 145 pounds. I'm pretty sure this is my new weight class. It's the best I've ever felt cardio-wise, and I still feel just as strong as I was at 155. We've got a lot of great guys here, great wrestlers, great jiu-jitsu practitioners here that are way above the level of Josh Crispy, kickboxers that are way above the level of Josh Crispy. So everything I'm doing in the gym here is just to prepare for the best Josh Crispy possible, and I think I'm ready for that.
So what have you been doing to kind of help you with this new weight class and with the cut?
I'm working with George Lockhart. He's been helping a lot of guys get down to their weights. He's worked with John Jones and Brian Stan and a couple other guys in the big leagues. But he's helping me get down close to fight weight as possible, making the weight cut real easy for me.
And you feel good in practice?
Yes, it's the best I've ever felt. My cardio's through the roof. You know, everything's coming together perfect.
So in terms of your sparring partners and stuff, do you think they're bringing to the table the things that you're going to need for the fight with Crispy? And how do you see that fight playing out?
I think it plays perfect into my style of fighting. I think I'm going to catch him with a big shot when he's moving around, throwing kicks with his hands down, doing stuff like that. And if we do hit the ground, I think I'm better on the ground than he is too. They call him a fluke for a reason. He grabs people in crazy submissions at the last second and stuff like that. But my game is a little bit tighter than that. You know, I don't take big risks on double legs. I'm not a collegiate wrestler. I'm not going in there looking for the takedown. I just play the fight how it goes, you know, and I think that's a bad matchup for Crispy.
Yeah. Well, another guy that we've been having in the gym for a really long time, he's been training with us about 5 years, is Mike Guidry. And he's seen Dustin's almost entire pro career and some of his amateur career. So, Mike, in terms of Dustin's training so far, how do you see this fight going down, and what are your insights into Dustin's training camp?
Dustin's definitely a lot more powerful, a lot more faster than Josh Crispy. I mean, I really feel just Dustin's going to dominate him everywhere. You know, I think Dustin's, well, I don't want to say his weakness, but the weakest part of his game is wrestling. And Josh Crispy is not going to be able to bring any kind of wrestling. He don't have any kind of wrestling condition. So the only guy that really gives Dustin's problems is a guy that's almost totally opposite of the way Josh Crispy fights. So I mean, I really think he matches up well. You know, I don't think the weight cut's going to make a huge difference as far as Dustin's strength or power goes. You know, I think he's going to carry that with him to 145. And I mean, he's even a little bit faster than he was 4 or 5 weeks ago when he was a little bit heavier. You know, so I just think it's going to be a deadly matchup. It's going to be
And so next we want to talk to Julian. Julian is the guy that's been working a lot of pad work with Dustin. Julian's very young, about 21, but he's an amazing boxing coach. He came to us about 3 years with not a whole lot of teaching experience. But from his time in the gym, he's really flourished as a coach and as a pad holder. And all of us here as pros have really found a lot of benefit. So, Julian, what's your insight into the fight? And having watched the tapes on Grisby, how do you think the fight's going to play out?
I think Dustin's ready for anything except, well, I think he's ready for anything. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really know too much about jiu-jitsu in his ground game because I don't do jiu-jitsu. I'm more concerned about his stand-up, and I think his stand-up is more than enough to take down Grisby and body weight. I think he's going to hit harder, he's going to be faster. I think he's more good at stand-up.
So, we're definitely excited about January 1st, UFC 125. Dustin's coming for sure. If Grisby, if you're watching this, it's going to be a bad New Year's. I'm just letting you know now. I hope you're training hard because you're really going to need to be. I just want to thank all the guys for putting together a great training camp. And please look for some of these guys' names in Gladiators cards or Mixed Martial Arts cards coming soon to the south. Jace Lopez, Thomas Webb, definitely, Eugene Broussard, Mike Guidry, and the kid, Alan Myers. Thanks for watching.